Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Mason Greenwood has been further arrested on suspicion of sexual assault and making threats to kill. On Sunday, Mason Greenwood was arrested on suspicion of rape and assault. Manchester United have suspended Mason Greenwood until further notice. Mason Greenwood has been removed from FIFA 22. Mason Greenwood's career at Manchester United is over. His England career is also over. We're all disgusted what Mason Greenwood has done. Greenwood joined Manchester United's academy at the age of 6. Mason Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. And since he broke into our senior squad, he's made 129 appearances and he's scored over 30 goals. Last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with Man United. Earlier on this season, Greenwood had COVID, and earlier on this season it did say that Greenwood was upset that Ronaldo always starts. Revert back to 2019, Manchester United offered Mason Greenwood a life-changing amount of money. For him to leave. So that's the news on Mason Greenwood. Now, as you all know, Manchester United didn't enjoy a good January transfer window because Manchester United didn't make any signings. Obviously, Manchester United wanted to sign a midfielder because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. Like I said, towards the end of the January transfer window, there was the incident with Mason Greenwood. Manchester United should have let Lingard and Dean Henderson go in January, but Manchester United blocked their exits. Manchester United loaned quite a few players out in the January transfer window. Obviously we loaned Donny van der Beek out to Everton. We loaned Martial out to Sevilla. Amad Diallo went out on loan to Rangers. Tuanzebe went out on loan to Napoli. And Man United also loaned Ethan Laird out. Ralph Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for almost 2 months. He's managed 10 games so far in all competitions. He's only lost 1 game so far. He's had 5 wins from 8 league games and he's progressed Manchester United to the 4th round of the FA Cup. Manchester United are considering offering Ralph Rangnick the job on a permanent basis. Because revert back to the other week, he said Manchester United put their search for a new manager on hold after being impressed by Ralph Rangnick since he took charge in December. Rangnick is Man United's interim manager until the end of the season, and it initially said that Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But obviously if he gets the job permanently, he won't be taking the consultancy role. I'm hoping Rangnick can win a trophy at Man United this season. Man United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards, and I'm hoping it can get us a top 4 finish. Well, after the win against West Ham before the international break, it said Rangnick will receive a £500,000 bonus if he leads Man United to a top 4 finish. Rangnick earns £180,000 a week at Man United. He's not under pressure now, but revert back to earlier on this season, it said Rangnick was losing the dressing room, and he said 17 Manchester United players were unhappy and wanted to leave. Manchester United changed formation under Rangnick. The new formation is the 4-3-3 formation. That formation seems to suit our standards under Rangnick. Obviously the 4-2-2 formation got scrapped because quite clearly that formation wasn't working. Rangnick's made changes as well. Earlier on in the season he brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armas in as an assistant coach, and he brought Saz Chalens in as a sports psychologist. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. A few weeks ago, Ralph Rangnick said that he wants Erik ten Hag to become Manchester United's next permanent manager in the summer. I presume there's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag get recommended in. You've got to admire the work that Erik ten Hag has done at Ajax. He's developed a young players well, he's won a couple of titles with them, and revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. He's been Ajax manager for 5 years. He got appointed in as Ajax manager back in 2017. His contract at Ajax expires next year. Ajax is the 4th club he's managing in his managerial career, because before Ajax he managed Utrecht, before then he managed Bayern Munich's reserves, and before then he managed Go Ahead Eagles. Mauricio Pochettino has been relentlessly linked with the permanent role at Man United. I'd like to see Pochettino become Man United's next permanent manager, because I think Pochettino would suit the strappings of the club and he would get the best out of these group of players. Plus, Pochettino is proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial. Before Pochettino endured a 5.5-year managerial tenure at Tottenham, back in 2018 he got Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final, and at one point when he was Tottenham manager he almost won the league. Before Tottenham managed Southampton, he got Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. And he only enjoyed a short managerial tenure with them, so they're the clubs he's managed in the Premier League so far in his managerial career. Before Southampton managed Espanyol, and now he's currently the PSG manager. I think he has won a French Cup with them. His contract at PSG expires next year. I have been hearing that Brendan Rodgers has been on Man United's shortlist, but there's a lot of Man United fans that have got strong reservations about Brendan Rodgers becoming the club's next permanent manager. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Then we sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite Louis van Gaal winning the FA Cup. Then we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield, but the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, because the board didn't recommend the players he wanted to get in, and he had bad disputes with the top players. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after almost 3 years in charge. Solskjaer's final game in charge of Manchester United was the 4-1 defeat to Watford. Ed Woodward has officially left Manchester United. That's good news from a Man United perspective because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Ed Woodward had, a 17-year association at the club. Richard Arnold has replaced Ed Woodward as the new chief executive. To be honest with you, don't really know much about Richard Arnold. The Glazers, they've owned the club for a long time. They've owned Manchester United for around 16.5 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back towards the end of last season, it said the Glazers were only willing to sell Man United for 4 billion. Back in April last year, Man United fans protested against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and Old Trafford because the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. A lot of players are going to depart Manchester United in the summer. So in the summer, Cavani will leave. Revert back to earlier on this season, Ralph Rangnick revealed that Edinson Cavani wants to stay at Man United till the end of the season. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Juan Mata, he'll also leave in the summer. He's out of contract at Man United in the summer because revert back to last year. Man United extended Mata's contract for a further year. Lingard will leave the club in the summer. He should have left in January like I mentioned earlier. Newcastle tried to get Lingard, didn't they? It said Newcastle were willing to pay a 3 million loan fee and a further 4 million in a survival bonus. West Ham also wanted to re-sign him at the second half of last season. Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. And on deadline day, Lingard told Ralph Rangnick in a meeting that he wants to leave Man United. But obviously David Ornstein came out and said that Man United told Lingard he was not allowed to leave in January. Lingard's out of contract at Man United in the summer. He doesn't get in our team. Matic will also leave in the summer. If Ralph Rangnick is not manager for next season, then Pogba will leave in the summer. Jones and Bailly, they'll also leave Man United in the summer. And we'll get rid of Dean Henderson, and Maguire and Bissaka will leave in the summer because reports from Spain said the other week that Man United will look to sell Harry Maguire and Anwan Bissaka in the summer. And if Man United fail to qualify for the Champions League, it said Ronaldo will leave in the summer. Now, Manchester United's next game is Middlesbrough in the FA Cup 4th round. It is on Friday night, the 4th of February. It's an 8 o'clock kick-off and it's at Old Trafford. I've already given you my preview for the game. On this video, I was supposed to be giving you my predicted 11 for the game, but I wanted to give you more news on Mason Greenwood. On my next video, I'll be giving you my predicted 11 for the cup game against Middlesbrough. Obviously, Middlesbrough are in the Championship. They're 6th in the Championship at the moment. Their manager is Chris Wilder. Middlesbrough appointed him in last year to replace Neil Warnock. Neil Warnock, of course, got sacked last year. Chris Wilder has managed quite a few clubs in his managerial career. Before Middlesbrough, he managed Sheffield United. I remember when Chris Wilder was in the Premier League with Sheffield United. Before, he managed Northampton. Before, managed Oxford. Before, managed Halifax. And a while ago, he managed Alfred Town. I do know quite a few of the players that Middlesbrough have got. Obviously, they have got Aaron Connolly. He's on loan at Middlesbrough from Brighton. They've got Andras Sporer. He's on loan at Middlesbrough from Sporting Lisbon. They've got Isaiah Jones. They've also got Josh Coburn. They've got Duncan Watmore. They've got Sammy Amiobi, he's a former Newcastle player. They've got Riley McGree, they have Johnny Howson. They've got Paddy McNair. Paddy McNair is a former Manchester United player. They've got Matt Crooks, Neil Taylor, Connor Malley. They've got Mark Bowler. Mark Bowler's out for the season with injury. They have Marcus Brown. He's just recovered from injury not so long ago. So they are quite a few of the players that Middlesbrough have got. Middlesbrough got to the 4th round of the FA Cup by beating Mansfield in the 3rd round. Man United obviously got to the 4th round of the FA Cup by beating Villa in the 3rd round. Like I mentioned on the preview, the last time Man United and Middlesbrough played each other was back in March 2017. You know, Man United are going into the game having won their last 2 games in a row. Because before the international break, Manchester United beat West Ham 1-0. Thanks to a late goal from Marcus Rashford, and that moved Manchester United into the top 4. But Man United should progress to the 5th round of the FA Cup. I'd say the FA Cup is the only chance that Man United have got of winning a trophy this season. Yeah, we're in the Champions League, but we won't win the Champions League. Man United have not won the FA Cup since 2016. Manchester United have won 12 FA Cups. Like I said, Mason Greenwood won't be playing any part in the game. Like I said earlier on, his career at Man United's now over. Pogba's expected to be available for the game because he recently returned to training, and the other week Rangnick said that Pogba is set to return after the international break. Pogba was out with injury for a while. Don't forget, Pogba's willing to stay at Man United as long as Ralph Rangnick is manager for next season, because Pogba's been impressed by Ralph Rangnick since his arrival and he's open to signing a new contract. Pogba's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Revert back to the other month, the Sun said that Man United offered Paul Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract. That would have made Pogba the highest paid player in Premier League history, but Pogba actually denied being offered that contract. Luke Shaw's obviously out with injury, could be available for this game, but I don't think he'll play. He's not our first choice left back under Rangnick. Alex Telles is our first choice left back under Rangnick. And Wan-Bissaka has been unavailable because he's been out with COVID, and he's not our first choice right back under Rangnick. Diego Dalot is. I'm expecting Rangnick to rotate in this game against Middlesbrough in the Cup. Manchester United's next league game is Burnley. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.